Okay, so this is a third video over different aspects of doing throws, right? So the first video we did, we looked at attachments without a jacket, right? And different ways to get grips on the person so that when we execute the throws or the takedowns, that we can do it without utilizing the jacket. The second video, we looked at utilizing strikes, kicks and strikes to get close enough to hit the attachment to be able to do the throw, right? The 2 or 3 other videos that we're going to do, we'll do one over gloves, boxing gloves, so that we can look at how to do the throws for sanda with gloves on. We'll also look at frontally attachment, and the guy tries to resist this movement and turn it into a combination. Another video in this series where we got this attachment, but they try to attack you with the offhand, and I have to change or use strikes and things, so we turn it into striking grappling. And then we have either 1 or 2 videos over jacket grips, jacket and belt grips, and how to throw from there, and also tearing, which is releasing from the jacket, and spinning, which is grabbing the jacket and moving to displace him to be able to throw him. And in today's video, we're going to work off of this attachment that we got. We're going to do the throw, and we're going to follow through with a pin or a control or follow-on strikes. And that's what I'm going to explain right now. So, where does this come from? So, in the generalized Chiao, and we'll say Chiao spelled with a J-I-A-O. Okay, that is predominantly a sport. Now, there is traditionally there's several systems of Chiao in China. Okay, there's at least maybe 4 or 5, depending on how you count it out. Okay, and so is the Chiao that we do is Baoding Chiao or Baoding Chiao, which is like fast wrestling, right? And so if that, we'll say from that time period, before my Qigong brought Chiao to Taiwan, I really don't believe it had any pins or follow-on control pieces. Now, it may have, but I do believe that most of all of that was created and developed by him as he was a trainer for the Taiwan Police College. So a lot of the pins and controls in that regard. The follow-on striking potentially has been there probably since maybe its inception, meaning like the person gets thrown down and the person runs through and stomps on them or something like that. Even in the throwing was used like on the battlefield, I would think if the person got knocked to the ground, and the person, maybe he lost his weapon, he didn't have his weapon anymore, he would probably stomp on the guy or something like that. So anyway, so this type of, we call it follow-on attack or follow-on control in that regard. So this is different than, I would say, grappling on the ground that you would think of if you looked at BJJ or catch wrestling or even judo or sambo. It has a particular purpose. So if you think it's more like controlling and subduing the person on one hand, or following through with attacks to maybe finish them off. So let's look at a couple of these. So we're going to go through these same throws. Like I said, the other 2 video series that we did over the last couple of weeks was we used these same throws. We're going to do them again with this. And we're going to start with cut. Now with cut, I can do it to the inside or the outside. And I'm going to do a little bit more explaining off of this first piece. So say I got my control and I'm going to trip Jonathan. He's going to fall on his left side. All right. And look, when I do these pieces, I need to be able to pin him as he's falling. Okay, let's look at that for a second first before I get too involved. So say I throw him. If I lose the attachment, don't think that you're going to come now and strike him, and don't try to speed up to do it. Okay, it's not going to. It's going to be too slow, right? Like say Jonathan throws me with this same. He throws me with this same throw, and he doesn't stay with me. Boom, right? And he comes to punch. I should be able to probably roll away or get away from him before he could do that. it would be more advantageous if you lose the grip, the stomp, right? To follow through, use the length of the leg, right? If you think of it, let's invert it, right? If we're standing up, whether I'm doing long range or short range, irrelevant. I've got my kicking range, whichever range it is, long range, medium range, short range. I got to kick, I make something strike to get some attachment to be able to throw this guy, right? If I throw him and I lose the attachment, there's this long range again, right? I'm going to try to kick or attack. If I maintain the attachment and I throw him, I'm going to try to pin him so that I can do blocks or control the arm or so that I can hit him, right? Into the body. Now, why would my Seacon create this method? Well, he's training police, right? Now, I'm going to tell you that each one of these throws that we do today, I'm going to end up with one arm controlling one of his bridges, one of his arms, right? The other one is going to be free. Now, for me, for self-defense, or for Jonathan, and I threw this guy down, for whatever reason, I felt like I needed to do more than just throwing to the ground or try to pin him, so I started trying to attack him with strikes or knees, whatever it is. If it was in a situation where it's a policeman, right? Just think of it like that for a second. I dump this guy, and I've got him here, and maybe I control this arm. I want to be able to be free to potentially get out my baton, to hit him with my baton if I needed to, or to take out my handcuffs so that I can cuff him and try to get his other arm and cuff him. That's the whole reason in my comprehension of this is what this is for. It's that you're a policeman, you gain your control of the person that you want, and you take them down. Once you take them down, then you want to be able to pin them, and then you want to be able to restrain them with your cuffs, or you may need to get them to comply. Maybe you tase them, or you hit them with a baton. Okay, that's the way I see it. Now, as it relates to self-defense, I think that it's very practical. I have no reason for me to use handcuffs, but if I need to be able to pin the guy, I don't want to hurt him per se. I don't want to get on the ground and grapple with him because of the scenario or the situation. Like if my whole purpose and goal is, like right now it's raining outside, and say it's out there on the asphalt. We'll use that argument, right? I'd rather just throw him down and be able to go on about my business. Or I'd be able to control him, throw him down, and maintain the control for whatever my reason may be. Maybe it's somebody you know, or a family member, or whatever, or somebody, you don't want to hurt this person for whatever the reason may be. It's much easier to throw them and then pin them to subdue them. And if they don't want to be subdued and you've done that, then I don't know, I would rather somebody punch me in the head a couple of times and maybe, I don't want a concussion, but I'd rather punch me a couple of times, maybe knock me out than blow up my elbow or my shoulder. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. I'd rather take the punch to the jaw and get knocked out than 6 to 8 weeks of our operation to repair this or this thing that's been shattered. So anyway, so we go for our cut. So there's outside and inside, right? I'm going to use this attachment or the attachment here. So if I go this way, I dump him, and I've got a hold of the arm, and right away he's going to probably try to pull it free. That's okay. I'm just going to come here. And look, you can control by putting pressure into his floating ribs or into his obliques or even up here like this. He kind of decompresses his ribs a little bit. And then look, but you can also go this side to the head, right? But we're usually like this. We're going to have one knee up when we're doing this stuff. If I do it to the inside, same thing, I've got the grip on this side now, and I dump him. This is actually easier for me because I still got control of both parts of the arm, right? I dump him, and look, I've got all of it right here, right? And he can pull free on it if he wants, but I'll just transfer pressure over. So if you do this with a partner, like right now, I've got almost all of my weight in this leg, nothing hardly in this. But look, if I just move it over, it puts more and more pressure in the jump on this side. Easy to do like this, like also too, I'm here, and I'll transfer this over and I'll pump it, boom, like this, and it can burn his ribs or crack them, hurt him. Forward kicking. So like this here, and I've got his arm, and I'm going to scoop the leg up as he falls. Right away, real easy to drive the elbow into the ground. You definitely damage his elbow or break his wrist or both. You do it this way, and then catch it, and bring it to the other side, right? So we're like this, and whenever I scoop it up, remember, he's kind of dead in the air. Scoop it up, and control this side. If you practice these with a partner, I don't practice these as much as I used to, but the more you train and flow with these pieces, the easier to get these grips. And here, do you you feel a need that you need to strike this guy? But remember, like I said, don't throw him and he disengages from you and run up on him and try to hit him like this. Don't. If you disengage and you feel like you need to follow on with an attack, stomp on him. Internet hook. I can do it from the outside, right, like this. I'm going to hook his leg, and he's going to fall. And again, I still got this, right? And I move in and I pin him right away. You want to train it so that when his mass starts to, we'll say, the velocity is gone, I want to be touching him with my knee, right? As soon as I need this right away. Don't give him opportunity to move. Inside works better because I got more control over the arm per se. But I hook, and same thing. I go right back to it. I can strike. I can lock this arm. You guys like to do a lot of grappling. All kind of maneuvers you can get from here. And I'm not trying to do any grappling stuff because there's plenty of people that doing that out there. I can easily do that front cut, the side leg hook. I can do both of those, and it's easy enough to, like with outer leg hook, it's real easy just to go into a mount hook, right? If I hook his leg and just drive the dude to the ground, right? With cut from the inside, it's real easy to get a scarf, right? And but again, you guys that do all the grappling on the ground and extra forte, I'm just trying to get you to get the idea. I control the guy, I throw him, I want to maintain the attachment so that when he hits the ground, I pin him, I'm either able to get him to comply through striking or through restraining the limb or through the amount of pressure that I'm putting on his body with my knee. Knee seizing. Knee seizing, I'm not going to have a hold of the torso, but a hold of the leg, right? So a bunch of different ways to do knee seizing. Let's say I pull and I duck it, right? I got the leg, I can easily wrap it up. Now, if you do calf and ankle and knee locks, all you got to do is fall back with this, and you've got all of these positions. We like to do it this way, right? I do this, and look, I'm not putting any pressure in this, but this can be really painful. You think if you have a nice shoe and you roll in and cause you pain, or even up in here, right? These are very useful. Now, you can also come to this side, smash into his quadriceps enough that he rolls. Boom! You roll him over, and you can lock him out here if you want. Okay? Again, grappling maneuvers. Me, if I use this move, I'm really hoping that when I duck him, I'm going to strike from the groin. Or, if I have the leg, and I duck him, I've got this leg, right? I'm going to lay it back. I've got this leg. I'm either going to pull it to get to the inside, or I'm going to push it to come to the side. And then again, you can lay in, stomp on him, get close enough, maybe punch him if you think you can. Again, Remember, train to be able to handle the momentum. The rate he's falling, how you did it, can you connect to him on the ground without him being able to use anything else? So get down with pulley. Same thing, I'm doing this loose tie up, and I'm going to catch him. You just got to keep curling with the person. Now, this is one of those ones that's easy to, just here and just nothing, right? Nothing, you just stop on it. Start hold, easy, right? I turn, easy enough, right? I just want to penny. I want to maintain my mobility. Strike, break, roll, break, strike, easy. Twist and spring. Same thing, here, got this. I'm going to take my step, I'm going to take that leg. I don't want to lose this control. Same thing, see? Strike, break ribs, work arm, hit body, it's all the same stuff. You may think it's primitive, and well, grappling is superior, boxing is superior to other styles of striking, right? It's not the best, but it is a highly effective. Grappling on the ground is highly effective. Low range kickboxing can be highly effective. Any and all of it can be. But you have to take things and put it in context. Are you using it for sport or are you using it for self-defense? What is the end result for you? You want to, if you think like that, sometimes then some things become more useful when we put it in the right context. Arm circling, right? So these are these bigger leg moves, right? But still, I'm here, and I've got my grips. I'm going to go under his arm, and I'm just going to take this leg. Remember, I'm going to try my best to maintain this, and it's a big move, but I got to try my best to stay with him. So lift, see? Bam! It's right there, right? And easy to come to the head instead, or back to the body. Once more. From here, I come in, smash. Easy. Horizontal throw. This way. Same thing. I don't need 20 different moves. You get it? Like, if I can control an arm and I can throw him and pin him every time, it's like this, right? We're in striking range, right? And I use my arms, my legs like like a wall or a shield to protect the hold of me. To get a hold of him, though, I'm going to have to use attachments, and I'm going to have to go through the wrist gate or the elbow gate or the shoulder gate, like that, right? I'm going to have to get the bridge, and I'm going to have to enter into these things to get this throw off, right? And there's several of these attachments, but there's not that many. The same thing, if I throw him on the ground, I don't need, like I said, I don't need a dozen ways to do this. I need one or two good ways to do it. But in every one I've showed you so far, I'm using one hand, my other hand is free. If I was a policeman, security guard, what have you, very easy for me to get cuffs, baton, gun, taser, or I can strike the man. If you're self-defense, here comes my sap or my knuckle dusters or I'll be your baton. Next round. Next round is a little harder, but next round is a great one if you want to grapple on the ground. Like all of these are real easy to get scarfed. If I can do this pin, I can almost every one of the same situations I can get scarfed. Next surrounding, you can literally throw him in the air and land on him in a scarf hold. Knock all the wind out of him, and you already got your position, and you knocked all the air out of him, more than likely, he's pretty much done. So, right, so we got this in here, and we're going to do inside leg lift. And it's the same thing, right? As I lift the leg, I'm going to maintain this control. I'm not going to fight it, and I'm going to go with it. Again. What do I mean about the scar flow? I'm going to do this to you, but I'm not going to land on your heart. Move this way. I'm going to take his outside leg, and I'm going to lift him. I'm going to do it slow because I'm going to land on your heart. And lower body control. And same thing, right? Come in, I got the waist, right? Come in, I sink. Right back there again. The point is, it's not as easy as it looks to throw and do the pin, but it really is. If you just practice it, it'll give you another the method for your throws, which all of this 6 or 7 or 8 videos is going to be over. But if you're doing stand-up throwing art, like Chiao, we do have this other aspect. And a lot of times, throwing him, pinning the person, striking him a couple of times, that might suffice for the whole situation right there. There is no sacrifice throws per se. There are people that do sacrifice throws, but I'm going to say those aren't probably priority in Chiao. And there's plenty of people out there that do grappling with Chiao, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're doing grappling with your Chiao, learn this method. It's from, especially if you're doing Chiao with a C. It's from your lineage. It's from Grandmaster Chong. It's a methodology that the man used for decades. And you know what? It would have, I'm going to say this, it would have had to have been proven to work, meaning, you got policemen going out arresting people, and they're utilizing these movements in which to do that. There would have been time for trial and error and correcting them and improving upon the methodology. So I just would like to encourage others to try it. Again, it's not that difficult, right? If you can manage the momentum, that's all you got to do, right? Would you do this coming in and look, do it slow with a partner and take your time. And after a while, you get so fast with it, it's so good. And I know some of the Sonda events out there are starting to let people throw people, and then maybe some kind of a pin or control. I'm not really for sure. I'd like to know more about that. But this would be great. I mean, at least this way, you really can, prove that you down the person and all of that. So anyway, I hope you liked it. And again, these videos are predominantly just fundamental idea. You can really move into this and add to it if you wanted to. Once you pin the guy, he can fight to get you off of him, try to get back to his feet while you try to maintain him on the ground. Like this. Can you lay down for me, please? On your side. So you get the guy like this, and he's going to try to fight to get himself free and back to his feet, and your objective is to keep him pinned. Now, I really highly recommend practicing that along with this, and it will give you a more confident feeling about doing the pin. And another thing that you can do is if you do it with striking, don't wear boxing gloves, but like finger gloves, and get with a guy, try to throw and try to pin, and then try to follow through your strikes. And he's trying to get back to his feet and trying to parry those strikes, or trying to trip you off of him, and then you're on the ground and he gets back up. Does that make sense? Anyway, Lima does something similar to that. Lima's a stand-in